15. Black hole. 13. A teacher at UA High School, to create miniature black holes using their fingers. Black holes have such a powerful gravitational pull that nothing, not even light, can avoid being sucked in. Being significantly smaller than a real black hole, 13's creations aren't quite that powerful, otherwise they wouldn't be able to use them without destroying the planet. Nevertheless, they can break down a human being, building, or anything else at the atomic level. 14. Warp gate. Warp gate is a teleportation technique, which might not initially seem that impressive. However, it has some seriously useful applications. Not only can Kurogiri use this quirk to escape dangerous situations, he can also use it as an offensive technique. He can also close the warp gate while someone is still inside, which will break their body in half. 13. Manifest. Tamaki's quirk, Manifest, allows his body to manifest traits of any food he's eaten while it's still active in his digestive system. This makes for an extremely useful and versatile quirk as he can adjust to any situation with his choice of weapons. 12. Fiber Master. Best Jeanist can control textiles, meaning anyone wearing clothes is subject to his manipulation. Since the likelihood of him facing a clothless villain is quite low, he's able to use it to significant impact. He can also use the fibers of his own clothing to restrain his opponents or escape a risky situation. 11. Fierce Wings. Not only can hawks fly at a great speed, his quirk Fierce Wings allows him to manipulate his feathers using his mind. These feathers can vary in size and strength. Hawks can use his feathers as swords since they have the ability to cut through people and objects. His feathers are capable of lifting and transporting people to safety, making his quirk extremely useful for rescue operations as well as offensive attacks. 10. Explosion. Katsuki Bakugo's quirk can control the size and strength of the explosions, ranging from small bursts to huge eruptions. As one might imagine with something as volatile as a bomb, there are a few drawbacks to this powerful quirk. Because it relies on his sweat, it's harder for him to use it in cold weather and control in hot weather. Overuse can result in recoil, which can damage his arms, but Bakugo's intense physical strength often allows him to avoid this. 9. Whirlwind. There's a reason why Ineza was the top recommended student for UA High. His quirk, Whirlwind, allows him to manipulate wind and create strong tornadoes and gales. He can also manipulate the wind to make him fly or give him incredible speed. During the Provisional Hero License exam, he was the first student to pass the first round and eliminated 120 other examinees at the same time with his quirk. 8. Decay. You do not want to be anywhere near Tomura Shigeriki's hands when he's activating his formidable quirk, Decay. Decay does exactly what the name implies, anything he touches begins to disintegrate in his hands. The only drawback is that he may not be able to fully control his quirk. This is because it automatically activates on anything he touches with all 5 fingers. 7. Hell Flame. Endeavor isn't the new #1 hero for nothing. Proven by his epic fight against the intelligent Nomu, high-end, Endeavor's quirk is extremely powerful. He is able to generate large fire blasts that can incinerate his opponents, making his quirk perfect for offensive attacks. Plus, he's even able to fly by expelling flames through the soles of his feet. His most powerful move, Prominence Burn, is so intense and destructive that he has to use this attack on high and up in the sky so as not to harm the city. 6. Half Cold Half Hot. Adopting both his father's fire powers and his mother's ice abilities, Todoroki Shoto technically has 2 quirks in one. As he develops his quirk, he's able to not only combine his 2 abilities, but use them for things like breaking down doors and using the ice for transportation. During the training class, Shoto able to freeze a whole building with a second, as his father said he is different than his siblings from power level perspective. 5. Erasure. Shota Izawa is able to temporarily erase any quirk, completely eliminating it from the user's repertoire. This is indispensable when battling enemies with powerful quirks and training students who don't yet know how to use dangerous quirks safely. The only drawback is that for his quirk to work, he has to stare unblinkingly at the target, meaning his mark's quirk comes back the instant he shuts his eyes and can erase quirks of areas that he only can see. It is powerful quirk, but because these drawback, it down to the rank 5. 4. Overhaul is one of the most overpowered quirks in My Hero Academia. Kai Chisaki can break down anything he touches into its most elemental components, and then he's able to rebuild it into any form he sees fit. He can use it to wipe out an opponent's body completely, bring back an ally from the brink of death, or cure a person's chronic illness. He can even break down someone else's body and graft part of it to himself, effectively taking their quirk or other abilities. Overhaul's only weakness is that it's localized in Chisaki's hands, so if his hands were removed, the quirk would no longer function. 3. Rewind. Eri possesses one of the most dangerous, volatile quirks in the entire My Hero Academia universe. Her ability, Rewind, allows her to manipulate her target's biological clock to turn back time, but only as it relates to the target's physical makeup. This quirk allows her to bring someone's body to a state before it was injured, removing the injury. On the flip side, she can also bring back old injuries that have since healed. She can restore someone's youth, but she can also bring them back in time to infancy, or before they existed in any form, a fatal application of the quirk. 2. One for All is a combination of two quirks. One allows the user to accumulate huge reserves of raw power in their body, and the second grants the ability to transfer the quirk from person to person. While the quirk affords its user incredible physical strength, enough to break down a wall or defeat an opponent with a single punch, it can be dangerous in a body that isn't powerful enough to handle it. When Izuku is first getting used to his new quirk, he breaks his bones every time he tries to use it. As he develops techniques for evenly distributing his powers, as well as strengthens his bones and muscle fibers, it becomes a far more useful ability. 1. All for One. It can be denied it is a most alternate quirk in My Hero Academia. All for One's quirk, with which he shares his name, allows him to permanently take abilities from other people, leaving them quirkless. Not only can All for One use these skills himself, he can also combine them into new techniques that are far more powerful than the original quirk alone. It's undeniable this power is alone can control the world, as the fight between Nine and Midoriya versus Bakugo, he easily handled both of them with multiple quirks as Midoriya desperate, giving Bakugo one for all power temporarily. What can be the top one other than this power, folks? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe us.